Hi, everyone. We're going to get started here in just a minute. I'm hoping the rain holds off. I'm sitting out on my front porch today, so it'll be a different view than usual. But I'm going to give some other people a minute to sign on because we do have probably, I think it was 13 people registered. So we'll see who else shows up. All right. A couple of people popping on. Right, in case anybody is new, my name is Kim and I work with Cornell Cooperative Extension. I'm with the Capital Region SNAP Ed program. So let me start by asking you, are you having trouble sleeping? Are you trying to find ways to manage your stress? It's certainly been a stressful enough week this week for everyone. Are you trying to find ways to help kids improve their grades? Or maybe you just want to improve the health of you and your family. So far this month, we've talked about how nutrient-dense foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein can be beneficial to your health. I've shared some strategies on how to add more nutrient-dense foods. Today, we're focusing on the benefits of physical activity and how to move more. You probably know kids need physical activity to grow up strong and healthy, but did you know that it can help them feel better right away? Better sleep, better mood, better grades. And when you move with your kids, you get the health benefits too. During this class, we'll share tips on how to plan easy and low-cost ways to be physically active each day and include children in physical activity every day. We'll cover what physical activity can do for you, how much physical activity you need, and fun ways to be physically active. So to get us started, open up your chat box and take a look at these pictures and just put the number of which one is the most appealing to you in there. I'm going to go with 4 myself. Walking and dancing, it looks like, huh? Playing some catch. So we do that just to point out that whether you stay inside, go exploring outdoors, or go to a class, being active is an important part of a healthy lifestyle. And physical activity is both fun and healthy, and it comes in all different shapes and forms. It doesn't have to be an hour at the gym. It's all about balance when it comes to being healthy. Being healthy includes healthy eating and physical activity. My plate illustrates the 5 food groups that are the building blocks for a healthy diet. Before you eat, think about what goes on your plate, in your cup, or in your bowl. Everyone needs to eat the right amount of food to maintain a healthy weight. Adults need to eat healthy to maintain a healthy weight and lower the risk of disease such as diabetes and heart disease. Kids need to eat the right kinds of food to grow. And while eating healthier food is important, we also need to be physically active. The more we move our bodies, the more likely we are to stay healthy. And you can be active at any age. Let's talk about the benefits of physical activity. As we go through some of the benefits of physical activity, take note of which ones are most important to you and your family, so you can use them as a daily reminder to be physically active. Exercise burns calories, which can help you maintain a healthy weight. Exercise releases endorphins, which makes you happy and helps you feel good. Those endorphins can also help you de-stress. It releases mental tension, so you can think more clearly. Exercise keeps you regular, which can reduce colon cancer. It can help with blood pressure, and it can help reduce type 2 diabetes risk and other chronic diseases. You improve your sleep by regularly staying active. Physical activity helps strengthen bones and muscle to keep us stronger, which can help us stay independent as we get older. This is one of my personal favorites and one of my goals. I want to age athletically by maintaining bone density and muscle mass through physical activity. And those stronger bones and muscles make it easier to do things like carrying grocery bags, cleaning the bathroom, and cooking from scratch. My kids are home today, so I've got my son handing me some change. It can also help you keep up with the kids. Exercise helps increase lung function and stamina, so you can chase the kids during a fun game of tag. And speaking of kids, it can also help kids focus, which can help them get better grades. That's a great motivation to get the whole family moving. Okay, so all of these are great reasons to be physically active. I'm going to pull up a poll, and then you just pick which one is most important to you and your family that you think you can apply. All right, what's the most important benefit? Zena. Okay. So the most popular was reducing stress and improving mood, as you can see. Oh, let me share those. I'm going to grab my dog. Hang on just a minute. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. Trying to sit outside today and the dog got tangled up, so I had to go save her. All right. Being active is an important part of a healthy lifestyle. Physical activity is both fun and healthy. Adults need a minimum of 150 minutes, which is 2.5 hours, of moderate intensity physical activity per week. You want to try to get active most days of the week. So about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, or 20 minutes a day for the whole week. Now, you don't need to get it all at the same time. Spreading it out and doing just 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there can really add up. Moderate intensity physical activity is aerobic activity that increases a person's heart rate and breathing to some extent. On a scale relative to a person's capacity, moderate intensity activity is usually around a 5. Brisk walking, dancing, swimming, and bicycling on level terrain are all good examples. As a rule of thumb, a person doing moderate intensity aerobic activity can talk, but not sing during the activity. A person doing vigorous intensity activity cannot say more than a few words without pausing for a breath. Children need at least 60 minutes every day. That can be a challenge with all of the screen time that kids are experiencing these days. To create some balance by reducing screen play time and increase activity time. Children and adolescents should include muscle and bone strengthening activities like climbing and jumping at least 3 days a week. Young children, 2 to 5 years old, need to be active throughout the day. You can encourage your toddler or preschooler to do a variety of activities that help him or her grow and develop. There are 24 hours in a day, and we can subtract 8 for sleep, but that leaves us with 960 minutes. That's 16 hours to find just 30 to 60 minutes to be moderately active. It can still be a challenge though, especially if we have a family and we all have jobs. So the best thing to do to find the time is plan for it. Take the first step in being physically active by keeping these tips in mind. Start slow. If you're just getting started, you can start slowly by doing 10 minutes of activity at a time. And as time goes on, you can increase the time and intensity as you get stronger. Walking works. Walking is my favorite way to encourage people to exercise. So walk as much as possible in an area that's comfortable for you, like your neighborhood or a park, or maybe even the mall. If your child's school is nearby, then walk or bike to school instead of going in far. Look for local activities. Check a local community center or place of worship for free and low-cost exercise programs, fitness classes, and other activities for your kids. So I know that Albany Recreation has got all kinds of free sports camps throughout the summer this year. There's also, I saw an advertisement for a nature bus. So there's free buses to go to nature centers over the summer too, to go out for a walk. Albany's got all kinds of good resources like that. I know I did free yoga in the park over the summer. Even during the winter time, there is a boxing center where kids can go get help with homework, and then they get like a good workout to go along with it, and they get to try out boxing. So go online, check out Albany Recreation, or even your place of worship. I know there's down the street from me, the Unity Church has Pilates classes. So there's all different ways to get physically active, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Afro beats Zumba at Arbor Hill Community Center. That sounds really cool. I like the sound of that. So yeah, that's a great example. Thanks for sharing that, Stephanie. So move throughout the day. Take the stairs instead of using the elevator. Walk the dog instead of just letting the dog out. Do push-ups and sit-ups as you listen to your favorite song. Park farther away from the store. Doing things like that can add steps to your day. Build stronger muscles. Yoga and lifting light weights are good ways to build muscles. You want to do some strength building activities at least 2 days a week. And that goes along with what I stated as one of my favorite benefits, is that you want to keep your bone density and your muscle mass as you age. And keeping up with that a couple of times a week is important. And it can be body weight too. Yoga is a great one because that uses mostly body weight. So, or you can get one of those inexpensive bands and do some band work too. Those are all good for helping to strengthen your muscles. And be active at any age. Everyone benefits from physical activity. You can play with your toddler in the yard or walk with a grandparent to the bus, play sports, look for a rec league. I think there's a kickball league I saw recently that I was thinking about. There's soccer leagues for adults, things like that. And choose activities that you enjoy doing and can do regularly, because that's really important. Make sure it's something that you like to do. If you don't like going to the gym, then find something else. That's how you're going to stay on track. Fitting activity into a daily routine can be easy if you think about things like taking a brisk walk for 10 minutes. Make sure to do at least 10 minutes of activity at a time though. Shorter bursts of activity will not have the same health benefits. So take the dog for a walk for 10 minutes, go for a walk after dinner with your family for 10 minutes, things like that can add up. Have a little dance party. We like to do that in my house. So take a second to think about whether you are an early bird or a night owl. You don't need to get up first thing in the morning and do an hour workout if you don't want to. Pick the time that works best for you. That's another thing that is really key to staying on track. Everyone is different, and finding what works for you and for your lifestyle will help you successfully be physically active. So take a minute right now and think about your typical day and where you can put some time in, even if it's just 10 minutes at a time. And once you have that figured out, put it on your calendar, on your phone, put a reminder on your phone, however you keep track of your schedule, schedule it in. There are lots of types of physical activity. It doesn't have to be a gym membership or something extravagant. Dancing, walking, riding bike, playing a game of tag are all low-cost, fun ways to be physically active with your children. Think about what activities you and your family will enjoy. Take a second to write some down. This way, when you notice everyone is having too much screen time, you have some ideas to draw from. So, keep it in a notebook, a few different things that might pop in your mind or something you notice everybody likes doing. So that way you can say, okay, it's time to turn the screens off. Here's something fun we can do. Being active is an important part of a healthy lifestyle. Physical activity is both fun and healthy, but we all know that there are many barriers and there's lots of reasons for not getting the physical activity. A lot of it can be overcome and a lot of it is in our head too. So let's talk about some solutions. These are some typical things that I hear a lot in my classes. You don't have the energy, time, it's too expensive, the weather, that's a big one, especially in New York State, safety and motivation. So what are some solutions? When it comes to energy, the more active you are, the more energy you're going to have. And so those two go hand in hand. If you don't have a lot of energy, chances are you're not being active enough. And so becoming more active actually gives you the energy to be more active, and it kind of builds on itself. Setting a reminder, an appointment like we just talked about, making sure that it's scheduled. I have it right on my schedule because my schedule is different every day since I teach classes in the community. Sometimes they're at night, sometimes they're in the morning. And I sit down at the end of the week and look at my upcoming week and figure out the days and times that I'm going to be able to get some physical activity in, and I put it right in my schedule. So doing something like that, just taking that time can help you to make sure you stay on track. It doesn't have to be expensive. I've given you a few examples, going for a brisk walk. YouTube has all kinds of workouts for all different levels. It's another great way to get some, excuse me, a free workout in if you're doing it at home. They have yoga, they have Pilates, they have weight classes, aerobic classes. I mean, there's everything on YouTube. We all know that. So you can go on there and look for different things that you like and try them out, and you can change it up so that, you don't get bored doing the same thing over and over again. And we also talked about some of the free resources. Stephanie shared one, I shared a few. And if anybody else has other resources around the city, then feel free to share that in the chat box too. Weather, that is a huge one. And I would say it even ties into motivation during the winter time. It is hard for me to stay on track when we get into the depths of winter and it's like February, March, you're just, slogging through waiting to get out of winter. And you start to lose your motivation to go out for a walk and things like that. I have made sure that I have clothes that are good in any kind of weather, that I can go for a walk in the afternoon. And just having that and being prepared helps you to stay on track. I'm going to go to safety because I think the next tip kind of goes with safety and weather. If you are not in a neighborhood that you feel safe, taking a bus or going out to the mall is a great way to be able to get a walk in. And it also is always temperature controlled. So that kind of goes with that. If you don't want to go out in the winter time for a walk, you can go to the mall. If it's too hot out, it's going to be air conditioned. And it's a great way to just get a good walk in. You just want to make sure that you're not stopping for the Cinnabon or something like that while you're walking in the mall. And with motivation, think of the benefit that you put on the poll and maybe even write it down, or even, more than one benefit if it's important to you. And that's usually where we start. We say, okay, I want to start and make this change for myself. So here's the benefit that I'm going to get from it. But benefits don't always come quickly, and then we kind of lose that motivation. So keep coming back to that benefit and get the whole family involved, get friends involved, go for a walk set up a walking time with friends. Things like that can help keep up your motivation. And then once you do it long enough, you will keep that motivation going because you're going to feel good. You're going to have that more energy. And now you're scheduling it into your day, and it's just starting to become habit. We've talked about the benefits of being active, finding time to be active each day, and how to overcome some barriers. Now I want you to think about how you can improve your physical activity level and that of your family. So we're going to pick 1 or 2 activities. Think of some of the things that I've gone through with you and try to write that down along with your benefit and your motivation, and keep all of those together. And remember, small changes can make a big difference. You just need to move more. And set a goal for this week. What can you do this week to add 10 minutes of physical activity and replace that screen time? So I hope you found some ways to make your day active and fun by listening to me today. I have a couple of videos that I made that are for kids that I'm going to share with this instead of doing a cooking demo. One is about physical activity and one is about screen time, and they are for kids. So I encourage you, I'll send it to anybody that was registered. I'll send you the link, and I encourage you to watch it with your kids. For right now, I am going to pull up another poll. This is I didn't realize I still had the other poll up. Sorry, guys. Okay. This is for my paperwork. You guys are doing that. I'm going to pull up the physical activity one that I made so you can take a look at it. We can watch it together. And then I'll share it so you can watch it with your kids too. Okay, I'll share this. There it is. Too many screens open.
Presentation.
Hi everyone, it's Kim with Cornell Cooperative Extension. I work with our SNAP Ed program. All week I've been talking to you about the importance of a balanced diet and using my plate to be able to do that. Today I'm going to change topics though. We're going to talk about physical activity. It's important that you're getting 60 minutes of physical activity every day. And that can be anything from getting a good workout in to just running around and playing. You want to make sure you're getting your heart rate up. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. The important thing is to make sure that you have a very active and fun life. That's good for your health, just like the balanced diet. I have some special friends with me today, so let's get started.
Let's start by talking about your bones. When you do exercise that puts pressure on your bones, it forces them to repair, and they end up a little stronger each time that happens. So exercises like jump squats and jumping jacks are good for your bones. Other things you could do at home would be jump rope, or just run around with your friends and family. Now let's talk about your heart. Your heart is a muscle, just like the muscles in your arms. We all know that doing some squats are going to make your leg muscles stronger, push-ups make your arms stronger, sit-ups make your abs stronger. What do you think it is that makes your heart stronger? Every time you make your heart beat faster, you're working out that muscle and making it stronger. So let's do an experiment. Stand up with me and feel your heart rate. What you feel right now is your resting heart rate. Now, let's run in place for 10 seconds as fast as you can. Now feel your heart rate. You can feel it pumping harder now, which means you're working that muscle and making it stronger. When your heart beats faster from exercise, you're also benefiting your lungs. That's because your heart and lungs have to work harder to supply oxygen to the muscles that you're working. If you make a point of doing this every day, then your lungs get more efficient at carrying that oxygen to your muscles. You've made your lungs stronger. You may also be breathing heavier. Your face may feel warm, or you may have broken out into a sweat. Those are all signs that you're moving your body and keeping it healthy. That is something you should be doing every day for about an hour. It doesn't need to be all at once, but if you play tag for 15 minutes, have a dance party for 15 minutes, ride your bike for 15 minutes, and then play soccer for 15 minutes, you made your goal. In addition to keeping your bones, heart, muscles, and lungs strong, physical activity helps you maintain a healthy weight. There are some mental health benefits as well. Feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Reduce your stress levels with physical activity. Feeling unfocused? Sharpen your focus with exercise. Getting focused helps improve your grades too. Having trouble sleeping? Physical activity throughout the day will help you get the sleep you need. When you eat right, sleep right, and get the recommended activity levels we just talked about, you'll reduce the risk of chronic disease by having a happier and healthier life.
Now that I got my exercise time in, I'm looking for something to drink. Perfect. Now, why do you think I chose water instead of the soda I have over here, or the sports drink? After all, sports drinks are meant to quench your thirst after playing sports or exercising, right? Well, let's take a closer look.
A packet of sugar that you find on a table at a restaurant has 4 grams of sugar. This 20-ounce bottle of sports drink contains 34 grams of sugar. That's 8.5 packets of sugar. One of the goals of exercise is maintaining a healthy weight. It's counterproductive to drink all that sugar after playing sports and exercising. How about that soda? This 20-ounce bottle of cola contains 65 grams of sugar. So that is almost 17 packs of sugar in just one bottle. You wouldn't pour 17 packets of sugar into a glass of water, would you? Why would you drink it out of a soda? The same is true for sweetened tea. A typical 20-ounce bottle contains about 58 grams of sugar. A typical energy drink has about 60 grams of sugar. Here's a question. If sports drinks, soda, and other soft drinks aren't the right way to stay hydrated while playing sports, exercising, and throughout the day, what is?
Did you figure it out yet? It's water, of course. That's it for my time with you guys this week. I really enjoyed cooking with you and going over all kinds of information. Remember, make half of what you eat fruits and vegetables, get your heart rate up for at least an hour every day, and make sure you're drinking water.
The most important thing to do is to remember to be safe
and have some fun.
Thank you for joining us today.
All right. It's amazing to think that that was 2 years ago. Okay, I'm going to There we go. All right, I'm going to try and find the screen time one. Yep, there it is. And I'll share that with you guys. I think it's a good reminder for all of us about screen time these days.
This is a SnapEd New York video presentation.
Hi everyone, it's Kim with Cornell Cooperative Extension. I work with our SnapEd program, and I'm here today to talk to you about having an active and fun life. Let's think about screens. What do you think screen time is? Screens are everywhere. It's not just about how much TV you're watching.
It includes time on a computer, time spent on a cell phone or other handheld device, and playing video games. Did you know that doctors and other health experts recommend that kids your age should have no more than 2 hours of screen time a day? And that includes all of those different devices that we just talked about.
Now take just a minute and think about your screen time. Do you think if you include all of those categories that you're going over that recommended 2 hours a day?
If you limit your screen time to just 2 hours a day, what will you do with the rest of your time? What is your favorite sport? Do you know how much practice it takes to get really good at a sport? It takes time every day to practice and improve your skills. Go for a half-hour bike ride with your friends and practice a sport you love for an hour, and you take up an hour and a half. Now let's think about the connection between screen time and physical activity. You should be getting at least 60 minutes of physical activity every day to stay healthy. Not doing so can lead to being overweight or obese and other health problems. Do you think that doing too much of this can keep you from being as healthy as you can be? Think about how you feel after you sit for a long time. I usually feel more tired. Spending too much time in front of a screen keeps you down and makes you feel like you don't have the energy to be physically active. So don't get caught in the trap. Not being physically active can lead to being overweight, obesity, which leads to more health problems and chronic disease. It also affects your mental health in negative ways. Maybe you don't have a sport you love. You can still be physically active by playing with friends, swimming, dancing, things like that. That should equal 60 minutes a day at the end of the day. It doesn't have to come all at once, and it doesn't matter what time of day it is or what time of year, as long as it equals 60 minutes at the end of the day. What else can you do to fill in the time? How about an instrument or some other form of art? It takes practice every day to get really good at an instrument or painting. Or maybe you like listening to music. Maybe you like to cook. That's another skill that takes time to practice. Reading a book is a great way to escape into another world and get lost in it for an hour or two. You can build different worlds with different play sets. Play a board game with friends and family. All of those things keep your brains creative and healthy. There are better ways to spend your time than sitting in front of a screen. Being creative is how you solve problems, find interests, and understand the world around you. Don't just get sucked up into the screen and lose your creativity. You have to eat well to play hard. But do you munch on foods that are not good for you while you're watching TV or playing video games? If you're not paying attention to what you're doing, it's easy to eat a whole bag of chips without knowing it or even enjoying it. What about drinks? Are you drinking sugary drinks like soda or sweetened iced tea? The combination of being sedentary in front of a screen and eating or drinking foods that are high in fat, sodium, and sugar lead to all kinds of health problems, including obesity and the other issues we talked about. Are you staying up all night playing video games, watching TV, or surfing the internet? What do you think the consequences of not getting enough sleep are? You could fall asleep in class, not have enough energy to do physical activity, feel moody and irritable, and you're more likely to get sick, just to name a few.
Maybe you're in that trap we talked about. You've been sitting in front of screens all day, eating and drinking things that you shouldn't be, and now you don't feel like getting up and going outside. How can you break out of that trap?
First, set a goal to reach 60 minutes of physical activity per day in any form you prefer. Second, set a goal to add a creative activity that you enjoy or a skill you want to improve. Next, keep track of your time in front of all your devices for a few days. At the end of the 3 days, look at what you're doing each day and think, where can I take an hour or even a half hour off? What will I replace it with? Start a little at a time and make your way down to just 2 hours a day. Finally, make a goal not to eat or drink when you're in front of the screen. You will see advertisements or even hidden ads where people are eating or drinking different chips or soda in a video you're watching, so you'll need to be aware that it's placed there to make you want to eat it or drink it. Just stick to your goal and don't eat in front of the screen. Don't forget why you are making these changes. You want to stay healthy by being physically active for 60 minutes each day and weight management. Stay creative by developing skills and interests instead of passively watching what's on the screen. Have an active and fun life. And remember, you have to eat well to play hard. That doesn't happen when you're in front of the screen for most of the day.
Now remember, small changes make a big difference. So while you're cutting down on your screen time, do it a half hour at a time. If it seems like it's a lot to get down to 2 hours, figure out one thing that you can take out this week. And then slowly work your way down to 2 hours as you work through the weeks and figure out different things that you can cut out, things you can cut back on. Remember to have an active and fun life, and you've got to eat well to play hard. So get out there and have fun.
Thank you for joining us today. We know the healthy choice isn't always.
All right. All right, I've got just one more poll for you guys to fill out for me. And if anybody has questions, now would be a good time. You can put it in the chat box or you can unmute and ask me. And so I'm changing things up next month. We're going into a new curriculum. Oh, you're welcome, Stephanie. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And I will share those links too if you guys want to watch those with your kids. They were intended for kids, but there's always good information in those videos too. But for next month, we're going to start live cooking demos. So I'll be in my kitchen making something every week. I'm keeping it at the same time. The Friday lunch and learn seems to be a good time for everybody. And we'll have some information based on nutrition and budgeting and things like that while I'm cooking. So hopefully I get to see you guys next month. If nobody has any questions, then that's it for today. You're welcome. Thanks. Yeah, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the long weekend. Looks like we'll have rain for a couple of days, but then it's going to be nice. All right. Bye, everybody.